Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market.
Yeah, the mic's right here, dude.
That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss yesterday's market roller coaster, some strength in the Solana meme coin market, and the latest on the global tariff situation.
It really makes a difference when you talk into the microphone. Just letting you know. Thank you. You reverted back from it.
Nick, hopefully this sounds all right over here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Now Nick's completely muted, so we don't even hear anything he's saying right now. We're having a lot of fun here this morning. We're joined today. We got Choose Rich Nick, we got Easy Eats Bodega, and we got Clemente. Interesting day yesterday. Lots of news in terms of the global macro market, ups and downs. Also seen some good stuff on the meme coin market. Nick, what were you looking at yesterday? What do you see?
Well, first off, let me just explain. When you speak into the microphone, it does make a massive difference. And I understand that it's frustrating to hear that from me and that it can bring up some emotions, But I just want you to know that I don't say this out of like anger or out of resentment. I'm not harboring any negative emotions towards you, Ray. All that I'm doing is I'm just saying, hey, let's make it the best experience possible for our audience. What I'm paying attention to in the market right now is the only thing that people are paying attention to is tariffs. Seems like the market's had enough of it. Today, we're doing a little bouncy bounce. I actually do not think we bottomed. I think we can see a little bit of a pump here. That's fine. But I'm actually skeptical. I hold a little bit of skepticism at this moment in time. Because some of the words that Trump's saying are, make me wonder and question, his intentions here. Is he really a Russian asset? That's what a lot of people are asking on the timeline right now.
What makes people on the timeline think that, Nick?
Well, he was speaking Russian. That was one thing that I thought was interesting. No one thought that he was a Russian asset, I guess. But
do you remember back in last election cycle when people were like questioning whether or not Donald Trump could read, or if he was just just wasn't able to read, never was able to read anything, just like didn't have that comprehension. I don't know if you remember that narrative, but that was hilarious.
I don't, but that's pretty funny.
Like there was like conspiracy theories be like, yeah, he doesn't read, he just sign things and he can like talk and like he just like wings things, he just doesn't know how to read. It was wild. I don't know what made me think of that, but there it is.
That's crazy.
Clemente, what have you been looking at? We've had a busy meme coin market. I had to imagine you've been excited.
I did not get in on any of the meme coins, Ray. I'm currently I bought a Brita filter for the first time.
Bad call.
Scam. They're a scam. Dude, I paid $70 for one of these water filters because everyone was saying the fluoride's going to make me gay and all this stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'll get a filter. I noticed no difference. The water tastes the same. And also, look, I think you can see mine filling up. Well, I have this bad camera. It's right there in the back. You put water in it and you put water in it and then it like takes literally 10 minutes to trickle down to filter.
Bro's just figuring out how to use a water filter. I mean, congratulations, Clemente. You're showing your age in your commentary right now. The bigger issue that you're running into is that there's plastic in those filters. So the best thing that you can get, if you're really looking for one, is a reverse osmosis system. I did that in my last apartment. You have to drill a hole into the pipe under your sink because 50% of the water gets lost. You're also, in addition to a reverse osmosis system, you need a remineralization filter to add the minerals back into the water after you filtered them all out. But that's the ultimate system that you're looking for.
Got it. Reverse osmosis.
I'm not even kidding. People find it funny, apparently. That actually is hands down the definitively best thing, because the issue that you run into is you get microplastics into your balls as a result of that Brita. So they're not a scam though. And the bigger thing that you need is a water testing kit, because then you'll find out that it did actually clear out the water to some degree.
What about fridge filters? They dangerous too? Is that shooting microplastics into me as well?
I don't know. I mean, I'm fine with it, but most people don't change the water filters in their fridge. It's just constantly getting worse and worse, and you do need to periodically change them. You're going to have to call the fridge manufacturer to find the proper filters for them. That's a little more annoying.
Or you
if
take
it
out
has
the existing one and look at it.
What's that?
You take out the existing one and look at it. Also an option.
Is it transparent? You can see it?
Dude, the fridge filter also says it right on the inside of the door.
It's a giant thing. You just like
it's in the back.
Pulled out, yeah.
You just like pull the plastic off and slip the thing out.
I'm just saying everyone's got a different fridge filter, and I'm okay with that. Okay, like people are different.
Are you calling my fridge small? Is that what you're saying?
All right, so I got to get this: a cloud water filter, reverse osmosis under your sink, 600 buckaroos.
Just use the Brita.
Go on Amazon. There's a bunch of them as well that are interesting. You should do a little bit of comparison and shopping before you actually dive right in to this $600 one. That one does look super legit though. 1-to-1 is approximately accurate. Basically 50% of the water gets wasted, but if you're not paying for the water, who gives a shit? That said, all these water systems are mostly garbage, but reverse osmosis is the way to go.
Got it. Bachelor Society is saying I'm throwing money at everything. No, what I'm doing is I'm investing in myself, because if I reach peak performance, I know I'm going to be able to trade that much better. Like I need my clear mind when I'm doing these kinds of things. So doing stuff like this is what's going to help me. That's what the honey I eat every single day is for, is to help me make as clear a decision as possible. I'm less emotional.
You sound a little bit stuffed up right now. Is everything, you a little sick?
No, I did a workout class this morning and I pulled my quad when I was running it.
And that's coming through your nose?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Anyways, enough mumbo jumbo, Ray. I think we should, get away from the water talk and start.
All right. So I saw somebody post about CO2 testing in their office. That's what's really interesting. I think that's the meat and potatoes today. CO2 testing is where we're going. Just kidding. We're going to go into the show. We're going to have
just kidding.
A little weather report. But first, we're going to thank the partners for today's show. You've heard us talk about them. You've seen Easy Trade Up, our account over there, DYDX. Sign up now at bodoggos.com/DYDX to trade along with us. You get some little bit of bonuses for doing that as well. They'll pop up when you click on the link, bodoggos.com/DYDX. They just launched their $20 million DYDX Surge program. $20 million of rewards on the line over the next 9 months. Trading volume, trading on their website, trading on their mobile app, all ways to get involved. You can join, sign up. You can check out their leaderboard powered by a third party, Chaos Labs. See how much reward points people earned. You can track your way up and down the leaderboard and earn a piece of that $20 million pie. That being said, Easy, how are we looking on this account? We were up at $5,000 yesterday. Have you done any more trading?
Oh, we blew the whole bag, Ray.
Did we?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
We're still over 5K. We're long ETH here. We're long ETH. Just for a retest of this candle.
Long ETH.
Tight stop loss. Long ETH. We're at almost $5,100 buckaroonies.
Sorry,
Right.
You're not up 5,100 on this trade.
No, this account is at $5,100. We're
up
approximately
$136.
$136. It's about a $50,000 value. We're long 31 Ethereum.
Okay.
9.8x leverage, liquidation.
It looks good. I mean, dude, the whole market's kind of ripping right now. The reason I went ETH though is when I looked at like the charts, ETH was pushing up the slowest. Bitcoin with a nice bottom there, at least short-term bottom. I agree with Nick. We're not out of the woods yet. Sol, same shape on that chart. And you look at ETH, and it just looks like shit.
Solana looks way better. I had sold all my ETH. I would be doing the Solana trade still.
The issue is Sol only gives you 5x, so I like to get a little bit more girth on it because it sets our liquidation a little bit higher.
You're talking about the leverage specifically on DYDX.
Yeah, so that's why I like to trade ETH too. You tend to you can see we got Sol has 20x, so it's not too bad, but the 50x gives us a little bit of a better liquidation level for that.
So whenever the bull run returns, whether it's in a few months or if it's in a few years, do you think that would you be looking at Solana, or are you looking at something like AVAX or something like that, basically?
Truthfully, something like an AVAX, near HBAR's done exceptionally well this cycle, even on downturns. So I'd be looking for something like completely new. I do like Sol. Obviously, I still am a strong believer that Sol is the retail chain. But for me, it's more like what's going to have the most upside potential and what's going to give us the opportunity for the biggest swing here. So yeah, that's kind of where my brain goes, is okay, I like this market movement, but I'd be looking for alts that could potentially move even more aggressively in the next turn. Even new memes, or not memes, but new L2s and stuff like that. Like Monad's interesting. That's one I'd be pretty much watching pretty damn closely. Mega ETH, very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how my brain thinks on some of that. Is let's find something new that has higher potential upside and no current downside targets. I mean, Fartcoin looking like the trade of the decade, my friends.
I've been saying it. Ray's been waiting on it, waiting for the price to go up another 2x before he decides to ape in.
We're getting close to that. I mean, looking at the candle, I mean, it's still not there. I need that.
Ray's I'm waiting to buy in until it's 3x higher than it is right now.
Well, because I'm not confident it does get back there. I need a sign that it is going to go back there. You guys have confidence it is. You guys are have conviction here,
bro. You're not just going to 2 billion. I'm aiming for 10 billion, right. 20 billion.
I'm looking at these 32% candles where we see
how much? Why not just put in $1,000 or something?
Because I don't know if it's gonna go. I want to see this major move. This major move took 7 days to go there. You still have plenty of time, even if you were late. I don't need to catch the bottom on this. I want to be sure that we're moving upwards.
You missed the bottom, Ray. You missed the bottom. $400 million of market cap ago. It's up 3x from the bottom. We're at 600 mil now. You're mid curving this, right?
I don't think so. I think you guys are mid curving it. It seems like the consensus trade everyone is talking about is just keep buying Fartcoin. Fartcoin showing strength. Fartcoin's outperforming the market. Until we see that massive move, I don't think it breaks out. I don't have if I'm putting the odds of getting to 2 billion again, I'm saying that's a 10% chance.
Let's just speak a little bit of truth here. You're the guy that thought Taproot Wizards was going to double in price right out the gate.
50%. 50% was my target.
Well, you still holding?
I am.
Oof. Yeah, Clemente, you still holding?
I'm still holding.
Oh,
Connor Glenn is now my number one. But when our commenters in our show are 100% bullish on Fartcoin and Fartcoin's going up, that doesn't give any of you guys pause here. That everyone on the timeline and all of our commenters and everyone is so sure Fartcoin's going back to 2 bill.
It's not like my mom called me and told me if some random Joe contacts me and starts talking about Fartcoin, then I'm okay, I'm concerned. But no, I'm very bullish on Fartcoin. This is the future of finance.
Okay. All right. Just my thought process here. So until we see one of these breakout spikes, I'm going to sit in the sidelines and wait.
Bro, that cup and handle is looking real nice. And you're sitting here I'm going to agree with Clemente. You're mid-curving this one.
I'll catch it on the handle breakout. So we had a similar.
You're going to wait for it to be 2 billion so it can go to 2.2?
I think if we break out over 1 billion, we can get back up there. But if we don't break out 1 billion, I'm fine. I'm fine missing out on that.
Obviously, we're going to break out beyond 1 billion.
If it's so obvious, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen if it's that obvious.
Bro, we were saying the same thing about Solana when it was $25.
I wasn't.
We were talking about Solana. What do you mean?
I was saying it's going to $1 million.
Yeah, we were very bullish.
Yeah, I was only off slightly.
You didn't say 1 million.
Obviously not.
But so like this is the new Solana, Ray. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where we're currently at actively. That's where we're actively at.
Yeah. So you're saying this is the equivalent of buying Solana at $25.
Yep.
With the bottom being at 8. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Literally.
know
Yeah, literally.
I think something else. I think something else is going to be the new Fartcoin.
This is actually that. You have a 3x off of the bottom. This is 100% the same correlation. I'm guaranteeing you. So from this, if it was $25, then we're going at least 8x from here, basically. So you have an opportunity to go to 48 or 4.8 billion minimum from this point. And I like having a target of somewhere around 20 billion, which was my $450 or Easy's $450 Solana target. I went even more ambitious and called it 1,000.
All right, you guys can sit at your. So when we went to 8 to 25,
this is you skipping out on Solana. I just
February 23rd to October of 23. So I can sit around for 8 months on a meme coin.
Does the chart not look the exact same as Fartcoin? Look at the Solana chart and now compare it back to Fartcoin and tell me that those two things don't look the same. There you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I 100% agree, but I don't know if Fartcoin's going to be the one that everyone is rallying around and where the technology is built that sends it. Like meme coins need attention, and there could be something funnier and better and more viral than Fartcoin that becomes the Fartcoin.
I'm buying more of it just because you're mid curving it so hard here right now, dude. I'm buying more.
I'll let you know. I'm actively cheering for Fartcoin. I would love to be wrong because so many people I know and so many of our listeners and everyone else is in this coin, but I just don't think it's gonna I need to see a massive spike to see it break out again. I don't know if it's gonna.
I have 6K in here, and I'm about to up that bad boy to 25K.
Oh shit! Yo, hey man.
Hey Nick, what an L take.
Ray, you're being a boomer right now. I just want you to know this.
Being a far.
I don't know who C-Dog is. That's not me. All right, let's do this weather report. It's 9:30.
Yep. All right, kick it away with the weather report. Clemente, bottom right button, please.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday, April 8th. The majors are up on the day. We got Bitcoin just under 80K, Ethereum under 1,600, Solana 110, and Fartcoin. It's not in the weather report.
When are you going to let me do the weather report?
Fartcoin's at 600 mil over the past 24 hours. It was a volatile day for equities as markets spiked and then retraced. There was a false report of a 90-day tariff pause. U.S. ETF set a new record with over $600 billion in trading volume. A lot of volatility, and it's just volume all day long. U.S. options also set a record as they surpassed 100 million contracts on the day.
And those are that's not options. That's ETFs that you're looking at there.
The Trump family's World Liberty Financial announced a governance proposal to airdrop USD1 stablecoin to token holders. The proposal aims to test the airdrop system, drive awareness of the USD1 stablecoin, and thank World Liberty Fi early adopters. Finally, more people are looking to take a page out of the Michael Saylor MicroStrategy playbook, aka Corporate Murad, as ex-Kraken team members acquired Janiver Incorporated with plans to invest its treasury into Solana and Solana validators. The team raised $42 million in initial seed funds, led by Pantera and Kraken. Some bullish news for Solana. The bottom might be in, might not be in. Back over to you in the studio, Ray.
Excellent weather report as always, Clemente.
Why do we say that same thing every time? Like you're not being authentic when you say, "Oh,
there's never been a bad weather report." Name one day where the weather report's been bad.
Yeah.
This one was mediocre.
Yeah, but that's not bad.
It's because you were interrupting it
the whole time. You were being very rude and selfish.
I was on fire,
cooking with gas.
Yeah, he entered a zen-like state as he flew through those words with such prose and enunciation. Doing a great job conveying the news.
Okay.
I like the dance. Okay, let's talk about a couple things. So Solana, we saw this basically a team acquire another zombie company, a real estate company essentially, and looking to invest in Solana. Funded by Kraken, ex-Kraken team members. I don't know if anyone got a chance to look at this, but do you think that these sort of investments in Solana and some other altcoins are going to be more widespread, or are they going to have effect on the price of Solana? Where do you land with this news? I'll throw it to Nick.
Wait, sorry. Can you ask me that question again? What the hell?
What are your thoughts on the strategy of investing in Solana and Solana validators? So we in the weather report that was excellent.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that story. I mean, is that the situation? They raised, what was that, venture capital that they raised? Where did the capital come from?
Venture capital, Pantera and Kraken.
Okay, that's a completely different structure than MicroStrategy, who's going to the public markets to raise capital for this. And what's particularly unique about this? Is it a product that they're building? Is there some sort of proprietary approach that they're using for this?
It sounds like it's basically using a zombie company to basically invest in crypto and crypto assets, specifically Solana.
Why would a venture capital firm invest in a company just to buy Solana? That seems kind of weird. Am I wrong here? Hold on. Scroll back up, because it actually says the aggregate convertible notes so they're doing the convertible notes and warrants. Arrington Capital is in there. Mike Arrington. Kraken. The convertible notes are convertible, and the companies that the convertible notes accrued an interest rate of 2.5. So I guess, is this a publicly traded company?
Yes.
There you go. Okay. That's why this makes sense. Got it. That's interesting. Okay. So I guess it is the MicroStrategy of Solana then. It's actively public, or it's going to be?
NASDAQ, JNVR.
It's public right now.
Wow. How's the stock doing today?
Let's take a look. Straight up.
Holy shit.
$4 to $28.53 right now.
No, it went as high as $44. This is the new Fartcoin right here. What's the market cap? It says 53 million. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I'd probably even take a flyer on this one just to see what happens. 53 million.
AI-powered online platform that connects commercial real estate industry by providing data and software subscriptions, as well as value-add services to multifamily and commercial property professionals. So
yeah, nobody cares about
software, like real estate software.
I don't think the software matters.
Right. So it's going to be digital asset treasury strategy, essentially.
I guess so. I mean, if that's your pure play move, it's kind of interesting. It's gapped down at the moment, I guess, on the open. When did it actually go live, or the news come out? Clearly yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, that was the buying opportunity. Looks like you may still have an opportunity with this one.
We should have gotten those VIX puts, Nick.
9:07 a.m.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. VIX is just crumbling. It was such a free trade.
Why didn't you do it?
Because I'm an idiot.
So we talked about that at Open yesterday, right?
Yeah, and the day before. It's been 2 days running now.
Although the irony is VIX puts have VIX, I guess, priced into it, huh? So it's expensive. So doesn't that ends up giving it a volatility crush?
Yeah.
So like your puts are priced high because the volatility is high. So you're not actually shorting the volatility. Your best thing would have been to sell calls on this, maybe would have been a better thing to do, because you want the underlying price to go down. But if you had bought the puts, you may still be underwater on that trade despite it going down. Although I don't know, you could pull up the price quote on that specific thing. Short the 3x VIX with put, dude. Those multiplier ETFs, I've never made money on those, man. Those things, they don't correlate to anything. It's just like a random chart.
That's like buying a buying a derivative meme coin. Like, it just doesn't work.
I used to try trading oil as well. And it was just like a lot of those the commodity ETFs, like for whatever reason, a lot of them don't have 100% correlation to the underlying asset. And it's like, dude, I don't know what's going on here. But there's some other, like, you end up having you have to like go in and figure out what are all the assets in this thing. It's a whole process.
Speaking of 2x ETFs, did you see the first XRP ETFs going live today? 2x XRP leverage. So this
yes, I did. That showed up on our mobile app there, Ray.
Yeah, it did. It did indeed. Eric B here with the story. 2x long daily XRP ETF is going to be the first XRP ETF out before spot has been approved. So that'll be interesting to watch for as well, to see what kind of flows this gets on the back of pretty much record flows across ETFs in the US yesterday. Or not record flows, but record volumes rather. So one to watch out for today as more and more crypto products are launching on TradFi markets. Speaking of TradFi markets, we can update you on the latest of the tariff news yesterday. Just quick rundown of what happened. So essentially, markets opened, and then a news account released fake
markets
news.
Opened, then they closed. Sorry.
And a news account released a bogus story, or like an unsubstantiated story that Trump was looking to pause tariffs for 90 days. After that happened, within minutes, the S&P spiked, crypto spiked. I think Bitcoin went from like 78 to 81 in a matter of like 10 minutes. News came out that the White House was unaware of this, and then the markets basically retraced that entire pump. S&P raised 2.5 trillion of market cap from its high just 22 minutes before that story broke. So it shows you that there is a good amount of eyeballs on the tariff situation. It's basically the driving force in markets right now. If that wasn't already obvious, Elon Musk urged Trump to reverse tariffs. Billionaire Bill Ackman called for a tariff delay, 30, 60, or 90-day delay. And I can't say I can disagree completely with his take. He's basically saying, hey, tariffs are a good idea. We need to eliminate tariffs and against the U.S. and unfair trading practices, but we need more time for other countries to respond. So if a pause comes in for the tariffs and other countries can then kind of respond, it could do a little bit more to smooth the market out, which it seems like a common sense, level-headed approach to this, but I'm no tariff expert. And then we also saw China in the U.S. kind of battling back and forth. After the U.S. announced their tariffs, China hit the U.S. with a 34% retaliatory tariff, and Trump threatened after that an additional 50% tariff on China and said, now is the time to be holding strong and not to panic if you are a U.S. investor. So lots of moving and shaking in the tariff department. Bottom line is tariffs are still on. They're still getting escalated against certain countries. Some countries are negotiating, but it looks like as of now, like not much has changed over the last 24 hours, and markets have kind of somewhat steadied. Nick, what are you looking for with markets and tariffs and like the next like shoe to fall? Like, what are you watching for in terms of like kind of like the global macro market right now?
Literally nothing, Ray, because I couldn't care less.
I understand. The S&P is up nicely today. Look at this, Ray. Look at this, up 2.8% on the
big
day.
Wick down though on cryptos.
Big wick down.
Yeah.
Gap up on open.
10.
So It is the worst case scenario here that basically China and the US keep going back and forth forever, basically, and just sees who can outlast the other on these tariffs. Wouldn't eventually they just start printing money to stimulate the economy?
Who, China?
China and or the US.
That's the only option. That's kind of what Trump's wanted to force. He keeps telling the Fed to start the money printer, essentially. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah. So we talked yesterday that clearly Trump wants Jerome Powell to reduce rates. 4 to 5 cuts were basically kind of what we were looking at in terms of 2025. So dropping 1 to 1.25% on the interest rate. Jamie Dimon basically agrees. And then we also saw Larry Fink from BlackRock saying he doesn't think we're going to see that many cuts this year. So there's a little bit of disagreement on what's going to happen there and what's getting priced in exactly. The Fed met yesterday in a closed door meeting. Haven't heard any news out of that. I mean, it is closed door. But I mean, that's going to be something to watch for that could potentially shake the markets again if we get a situation where like rate cuts accelerate, or if Powell continues to hold steady and say, hey, like we're not going to let these tariffs that could be potentially transitory affect monetary policy. So one to watch out for with the next Fed meeting coming up in May. That I believe it's like 25% chance of a rate cut was the last I saw for May. So we'll have to keep an eye out there in terms of printing money, quantitative easing, rate cuts, etc. Enough of the macro. Meme coins yesterday went on a little bit of a run. We saw a number of runners. I found a good post here that just basically kind of outlined a lot of the meme coins from yesterday. We saw Remus, which was a meme coin kind of talking about a new ancient wolf that was cloned. So a dire wolf got cloned by some company. Memecoin launch, of course, ran to 11.9 million. There was another one called Romulus, 1.4 million on a beta there. Titcoin hit 38 million. I believe Buttcoin hit 12 million. RFC, Easy. This it's got to hurt. RFC at 32 mil. Easy, what'd you sell this one at?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6 mil. Yes, another 5-6x there. Lushi has been a consistent gainer, also outperforming the market. 24.9 million. I want to bring up that chart because that one's been like in my watch list. That's a coin that I had zero faith in, but has continued to like basically be in the top of like gainers over the last week or so, which has been interesting. So I kind of want to take a look at this one. This is the 4-hour chart on Lush. Like, what's going on here? Like, is there something we don't know about? This ran from 8 mil to all the way up to 24 million since the end of March.
Wow.
And I just don't see any reason why it would have, but we're continuing to see strength there. We also saw some other coins. AI Slop 2.7, LLM 2.1 million, Panicking, the Trump meme coin for his new American Party hit almost 2 million. So we're seeing a good amount of life in the meme coin markets overall. Easy, were you clicking buttons yesterday in the meme coin markets? Were you trading any of these? Did you trade the dire wolves?
Dude, I saw Remus at like 400 or 500K and thought it was a dumb narrative. I was like, there's no way this gains any traction. Then Elon Musk posted it and was like, clone a woolly mammoth. Give me a mini woolly mammoth. And sure enough, it led to that to just absolutely send. Romulus was the other one that ran to like 800K. And then there was a sister born called Khaleesi.
Named after.
I missed all of them. Those are like the 3 big winners. Retard Finder coin was the other one. Great name.
41 million now.
Yeah, just sending.
Like, I mean, this is essentially just what was it? Brainlet, right?
Yeah, basically.
Just rebranded Brainlet. Brainlet's down to 1 million, by the way, and we thought that was like a decent coin way back when. That's one that fell.
We all make mistakes.
We do. Buttcoin 11.6 million.
Buttcoin.
I hold some Buttcoin still from when I bought it on the show. I don't know why this.
Nick, you're muted. Like your actual thing is muted. I muted you because you were typing. There you go. Now you're good.
What bro, you're sorry, the new system that I have running literally like wasn't running. I just had to reach out to the staff. We're just debugging the brand spanking new app.
Brand spanking new.
Ray's out here talking about Bitcoin
Insane.
and holding it and fading Fartcoin is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard of, dude.
Has the derivative.
It's insane. It's insane.
Why is that insane?
Because you're just
makes no sense, dude.
What
do you mean? Why does it not make sense?
Just buy
What's
Fartcoin.
the narrative behind Bitcoin?
The same exact narrative as Fartcoin.
It's not.
What's the difference?
Fartcoin was what
was.
No, you have the collective audience of people who are actually excited about it. This is just nonsense, dude.
Collective audience of people who are excited about it, isn't it?
Well, you had Goat was the one that created Fartcoin.
Okay.
Goatius Maximus.
What's Goat at?
It's not pretty.
Matter.
Okay. Well, Fartcoin inspired Bitcoin.
All right,
And
we'll see which one.
Fartcoin?
We'll see which one outperforms, Ray.
And to be fair, I'm not holding Bitcoin for a multi-billion-dollar hold. I'm just still holding.
Dude, you got Rainbow Kook on your side. That's how you know you're cooked. If Rainbow Kook, who says some outlandish stuff, is also holding Bitcoin, you're smoked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were talking about Bitcoin and Titcoin on the show, and I got yelled at about Bitcoin being a derivative of Titcoin, and now it's closed the gap considerably there on Titcoin. I think Titcoin was at 35 and Butt was at like 8 when I bought it. So that's interesting. But I just wanted to point out what has been moving. I didn't want to jump on another tangent talking about Fartcoin and my thoughts there. I think that's pretty well documented at this point.
The thing with meme coins that is interesting though, like this continues to show that regardless of market conditions, memes on the internet are going to continue to gain traction. And that's frankly, the fact that it's all happening on Solana is bullish for Sol. Everything is like every single meme or viral action going on in the internet is going to be tokenized and it's going to have a meme coin attached to it. And if you can find these early and you can
So what's the volume? How do you see what the volume was at? Like, what's the threshold that you're looking for on some of these things? Obviously, you want the price to go up, but what are you looking for with these things that are becoming runners?
So I do like daily meme coin like movers, and I look at like stuff I've curated before, and then I also go to basically Deck Screener and look at 24-hour volume.
Yeah, but 24 hours too late to miss out. Like you missed the token. So.
I mean, the thing is, like, it depends on like what your target audience is and risk tolerance, because you're going to have a higher hit percentage on 24-hour volume, for maybe a lower rate. But if you like go down to something like 1 hour volume and you're looking at 1 hour volume, you're going to see a lot of different things that could just end up like going to zero very quickly, or stuff that's like scam. So we're looking at House Coin here, $1 million or $6 million volume. $8 million market cap. One house equals one house coin.
Nick, I have no idea how to play these to be like with the house coin, Bitcoin, Titcoin. Like I have no idea how to play these like crypto native memes.
See, dog, that's how you got into Chicken Jockey. That was a good one.
I got in too late, but like Chicken Jockey for me, I was seeing it everywhere from this Minecraft movie. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. But I got in at like 1.2 mil. I bought the top of it. But that was just something that was going viral on Instagram and the internet in general. I found my little niche in just internet memes that go mainstream. I have no idea how to play like retard finder coin. I cannot do that stuff.
Great coin.
I get smoked every time. But Nick, that's what I look for, is just look for Twitter and if there's viral moments going on, looking for coins that match up with that. I don't really look at like volume or metrics on that aspect of it, but Ray is more so looking at like these crypto native things and seeing if they can get continued. I'm assuming buy pressure over time, which is it looks like this was happening.
Yeah, it's tough though, because a lot of times that initial volume surge, no matter how you try to slice it, like for looking at house coin here, you have like an initial volume surge, and like even if you bought it and got flagged here within like these 15 minutes, you're probably still close to buying like the top. like unless you're holding it for 48 hours and you have like the faith in in-house coin. Like these are 15-minute volume spikes around 500K is where the first run up happened. And then after that, like the volume spikes for price movement like grow significantly smaller, looking at like 100K as some of like the highest spikes here on the run up for this token. And I'm just using this example. I have no idea what this is, to be honest.
Nick, next time we get a big runner, I'll hit you up. I'll let you know.
Well, I think Nick's the reason he's asking, I think he's trying to automate the system and try to figure out how to get alerts for these tokens. Like what is our like method of finding tokens?
Cool, Ray. Anything else you want to share from our internal conversations?
You want to leak our
I don't think that's anything like groundbreaking and like proprietary. I think that's just a nice feature that's pretty cool to implement. Like everyone knows that there's volume thresholds that you look for when you're trading tokens.
Well, what are they?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. When I was trading on BullX and the meme market was hot, I was setting 5-minute volume at 500K to basically filter things out.
Well, there's a lot of activity right now. I'm looking at I used the 500K threshold, market cap minimum of 500K, volume of 500K, and there's like a lot of tokens.
Yeah, I think the 5-minute volume. Are you using volume?
I see. You need to also look at how old the token is in terms of
that's a major component.
Yep. So you're looking for those that are less than, what do you think? 12 hours?
Sure.
3 hours?
I think you can have runners that spawn after 12 hours of age. So every hour is 60 minutes. 720 minutes would be.
That would be 12 hours. Do you think it should be more like 18 hours?
24 hours. Just keep going up.
No,
So
I'm
trying to set the filter right now to look at what's going on, but I'm having issues with BullX's 5-minute volume filter.
Yeah, there's none that have graduated. So that actually is a pretty good filter. If a new one enters the system, then you're like, oh, okay, something like actually interesting happened here.
And you do get scams. You do get scams too. It's not like a crazy hit rate, but it does do a good job of highlighting this could be something.
Well, do you get a ton of scams right now? The market's pretty dead.
When I was actively trading this strategy, where I was using like 500K, 750K as baselines of 5-minute volume, it was like one in 5 tokens I would consider buying.
Yeah, you're looking at 5-minute volume is crazy. That's the one that you're not
right.
I wouldn't be looking for here. But yeah, if I look over the past 36 hours, 500K minimum volume, 500K minimum market cap. There's Romulus and Remus. Those are the only two, which is a good filter. So now it's letting you know, okay, this is definitely like it's telling you what's interesting to pay attention to. What are you thinking there, Clemente?
No, people were talking shit about my ceiling. No, I agree. I agree, Nick. You just got to wait. You can't rush. The thing is, you got to just find these viral moments. You're overthinking it too. You can't really automate this stuff, or else, we'd be all over this. It's good for filtering, but then you got to go, okay, is this actually a good meme? It's got to go through the.
It's not a buy thing, but the bottom line is like I'm saying it would be interesting to get the alert that there's a new token that's worth looking into. I'm not. The alert's not saying definitively buy this thing and you have guaranteed profit.
Yeah. Just a filtering process to see if so you get an alert every 45 minutes or an hour and a half. It's like, oh, maybe
45 minutes. How many tokens yesterday were effective at all?
3.
Okay, and what were they?
Remus, Romulus, and then you could make an argument for like Housecoin, I guess, on the run up. But mostly the direwolf dogs.
Okay, Clemente wants one every 10 minutes. Like
trenches aren't that hot, Chief.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about, dude?
Trenches ain't looking that hot, Chief.
Okay. Shit.
Clementi's the vibe. Clementi's the ultimate vibe trader, though. He's not the one scanning the trenches. He's the one looking on Twitter and being like, okay, there could be a meme coin about this. Let me see if I can find it, and then try to get into that early.
Yeah.
And taking the shots there.
Like, imagine if the trenches existed with the girl on the plane. That motherfucker's not real. That's 10 mil instant. Cash me outside. How about that? 50 mil. He needs some milk. 50 mil.
P. Diddy party?
I don't know about that one.
Easy.
But those are the things I'm looking for, Nick, is that type of virality. That's where you get the 1,000x and you print on that.
Easy. Do you have access to the asset dash whale tracker? I'm curious what this looks like.
Yeah, I do.
I know you've talked about that before, so I'm interested to see what metrics they use over there.
I'll share it internally. We could discuss. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, it mostly tracks on-chain activity, not social media trends.
Gotcha.
Guys, don't worry about it. I'm gonna code something up on ChatGPT.
You're gonna vibe code?
No, I'm like really in with ChatGPT.
I saw you posted that you discovered ChatGPT.
Yeah.
No, the funniest thing ever was seeing the picture he made. He's figured out one prompt. He's figured out one prompt, and it's his Bodoggo. And now he's like, after 4 days, he figured out how to change the logo on the shirt. So he's like really happy he can change the shirt logo now. But he's like, yeah, I really got to like hone in on this. I'm over here like taking off the grid pictures and inserting 4 different characters. And Clemente's like, change the fucking shirt.
It took me like 20 minutes to get it to change the shirt properly too. Dude, it's so hard to use. It's tough.
So
and
I'm going to be honest, Clemente, you're not good with computers.
No. You're like an old man.
And it's actually wild.
Dude, he was so happy about this. He got the X logo on the t-shirt. And he was
so
like,
hard.
I'm really coming along in this ChatGPT world. Really making rounds now.
Yo, chill. Now I'm working on it. Yeah.
We're learning. Hey, it's
We're working
good.
on something.
I like this dog though.
How long did you spend on this, dude?
20 minutes. I couldn't figure out. It kept messing up. Well, first off, this thing takes 6 minutes to make a picture now. It's slow as hell. ChatGPT is low-key ass. So I was like, okay, I have to wait 6 minutes for a new picture. And then every picture it was giving me was trash. So I was changing it up. And then it like gets corrupted sometimes with like the prompt you give it. Like I still can't figure out how to get it to give me a BBL. I also don't know what else I would use it for. Like give me content ideas. I liked Wayfinder's AI thing better because it was crypto native. Like you can say, give me the top 5 movers, like where are the inflows going? Like Wayfinder's stuff is more interesting, but yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like play with it. Like anytime you have like an interesting like question or you want to like dive into.
Dude, it took him 20 minutes.
Or you just use it for like, you could try using it for like just images related to posts. Like, hey, come up with like some sort of ideas for an image prompt. Like you can even ask it for prompts. Like come up with a prompt that I want to do this with to generate an image, and it'll give it to you. So like, instead of trying to come up with it yourself, you can ask it to do it. So like there's lots of different levels to it that you can learn over time, for sure. But definitely important to be playing around with AI, and it's going to be a big part. I think, Nick, you're pretty deep into it right now and understand the ins and outs and what like fundamental changes this is actually going to have for society. And I think people are somehow still sleeping on AI.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that the biggest people that are aware of it is anyone who's developing right now and building with it is the best way to understand. But it is better if you have experience with development. It just gives you this like huge
Or just
leverage.
an understanding of computers.
Well, that would be a good starting point. I'm about to have a tutorial of so that like an introduction to computers, and Clemente can join that class, and I'll teach him how the internet works and why that's something that he should understand. And basically, if you're not coding at all with any of this stuff, you're tripping.
Coding?
You don't need to be someone who has studied or knows how to code with AI.
But
you
should.
need to know how to word a coherent sentence.
Yeah, I can do that.
Having coding obviously helps. Like having a background.
Actually, I don't want to send you down this path, dude. Yeah, you're kind of hopeless when it comes to this.
Just like send us a message if you need something.
Yeah, I feel like Clemente with AI doing like content analytics stuff would be interesting.
Dude, you guys stick to the nerdy shit. I'm gonna do some dope shit. You guys keep doing that mumbo jumbo on your computer. Top GPT, make me the tonga do the dancing thing.
You put an X on a t-shirt and almost threw a fucking party.
I'll keep doing that dope shit. I'll keep doing that dope shit.
Less is more, right? We saw some TradFi news coming in with crypto. Galaxy HQ is planning a NASDAQ listing, moving from the Cayman Islands to Delaware as U.S. regulations become a little bit more lax. So that'll be an interesting one to watch once that gets listed. ARK bought $13.3 million in Coinbase shares amidst the market downturn yesterday. And then we already talked about the XRP ETF debut. Interesting news coming out of Binance. Did you guys see that CZ is joining the Pakistan Crypto Council?
I saw that yesterday.
See this? He had some like generic like Pakistani bull posts today being like, the average age is 24. Everyone loves crypto. What's going on here? Basically, CZ is trying to, or I guess Pakistan's trying to send a message saying Pakistan's open for innovation in the crypto markets. They're accelerating their vision to make Pakistan a regional powerhouse for Web3 digital finance and blockchain-driven growth. This one kind of came out of left field. I don't know if it moves the needle much in terms of like actionable news, but it just kind of shows, I guess, a continued shift of crypto being a global narrative and kind of accelerating, not just in the US, but worldwide after the elections this cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta. Well, in Ray, it's Pakistan. Pakistan is the right pronunciation. I just gotta correct you a little bit there. It's for my folks over in South Asia. Represent
Pakistan.
My Pakistanis.
Pakistan.
Pakistan. Yeah.
Pakistan. Thank you for that correction. That's about it for the major news today. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss before we wrap?
It's a quiet day today, dude. It's just kind of dull. I mean, like we had so much volatility and chaos last few days. It's not unsurprising.
Yeah, yo, shout out to my Pakistanis. Kaiser, Fahad, Kashmir.
All right, peace out, y'all.
Hey, yo, peace, guys.
He's just gone. he just dropped.
Yo, I'm gonna go code some shit. Yo, hey, I'm gonna talk to ChatGPT for 6 hours. Yo, hey, see you guys. Yo, hey, catch you later. Yo.
He actually completely did this show through ChatGPT. He prompted it to give him all the answers, and everything he said was coming directly off of the prompts. That being said, that's going to do it for today's show. We're going to give one more big shout out to today's partner, DYDX. If you aren't trading on DYDX, what are you doing? Earn a piece of their $20 million giveaway over the next 9 months. Sign up now at bodogos.com/DYDX to get started. We do the show Monday through Friday, every weekday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us back on all major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple. Watch us back on YouTube. See all the charts we're talking about in real time, like how Bitcoin is going to pass Fartcoin. Thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you all tomorrow.